everybody, and welcome back to Sunkissed. My name is Courtney. Today we're going to be getting into Fruits Basket Season 3, Episode 8. Last time we left off, so a lot of stuff happened. We had Kyoko talking to Kyo in a flashback. We had Kyo's nightmare. We had Ren and Sugar Ray talk. We had Ren trying to kill Akito. We had Akito trying to kill Ren. And I didn't talk about the last point that I had, which was the last thing that we saw, which was Akito stabbed Kureno. Like, why? What? For what? I can't remember what she said, but is he dead? And then we had Uotani find that dead bird. Is that a sign? Does that mean he's dead? I really wanted him and Uotani to have a happy ending. I don't understand. I don't like it. So, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into this episode.
Wait.
Oh yeah, she wanted to talk to him.
It's just, there's something I'd like to tell you.
Why is he going out in the rain? He doesn't like the rain.
There's something that I've been wanting to ask you for a while now. If I've got the wrong idea, you can laugh at me. Do you love me?
Oh shit.
Are you stupid? I believe my hunch was right. Of all people, why me? I can't do this. It was foolish. If I'd known this is how it would turn out, I would never have wished for that.
Go after him.
Kyo, wait!
I don't want to say it. I don't want her to know. I don't want to admit it.
Please listen to me. I just
You
want
don't know anything. Not what I did, or what I failed to do. She loves me, and I pity you for it. She could have lived, but she didn't. Because of me. Your mom would have lived if I'd helped. I knew her. And that day, the day of the accident, and I recognized her. I was a kid. Master had only just taken me in.
What's your deal, kid?
Jeez, what's your deal? Just leave me alone. You say anything else and I'll kill ya.
Oh, wow, you're a total brat, aren't you?
Oh, hey!
Old hag.
Listen to the mouth on you, insulting a random stranger, stinking adorable.
He is the cutest thing ever, isn't
If
he?
you don't stop being so cute, better go home. Your mom will be worried.
I don't have one, okay? She died.
And your dad?
I don't need him either. The jerk. I wish he died. He wants me dead too.
Sounds lonely. Call me Kyoko. The name's Kyoko Honda.
What? Her name's like mine.
So, what do they call you?
It is.
Alright, I guess I'll just have to call you Squirt then.
We met a bunch after that. Kyoko Honda told me about lots of stuff. About herself, about Katsuga Honda, and about Toru.
This girl is my treasure. Toru! Oh, Squirt. Toru, she must be lost. She hasn't come home. I looked for her, but I can't find her.
Get it together. Because I'm gonna find her for you, I swear. I'll help her. I'll protect her for sure. And that's a man's promise.
Oh.
A man's promise.
Yeah, except it wasn't you that found her.
Why couldn't I keep it?
It's not your fault.
Thank goodness I found you. Someone helped her get home. I'm sorry. You looked for so long.
That hat. Where did it come from?
Toru says the kid who helped her was wearing it. You recognize it?
I did.
Yeah.
I picked it out for myself. Master bought it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was mine, but it's not anymore. Not if he's touched it. He has everything. People who care about him. So Why does he have to go and take stuff from me?
This boy helped Toru come home safe.
I don't care. He still sucks. He's not a good person. I was gonna do it. Protect her for you.
No.
Why can't he at least let me have this?
The bad guy, that's what you want to see. Because if he's not as awful as you think, who do you have left to hate?
You're saying it's all my fault?
No, I'm not. Don't live your life worrying about that stuff. You understand me?
I'm done with you and her too!
Hey, Squirt! I'm holding you to it.
I was lonely because I felt betrayed, ashamed because I couldn't help, and stung because it felt like he'd stolen something. So I avoided seeing her again. But then, one day there she was. A car, coming toward us out of control. I thought, oh shit, I have to help her. If I grabbed her arm and pulled her back against me. But
Then he'd change.
I remembered, I'm not human.
Yeah.
And people would find out what I am.
Jeez.
So instead, I let her die. If I had just pulled her back, then she wouldn't have come flying. She wouldn't have felt all that pain. I know she'd still be alive. I weighed her life against mine. And I chose me. I protected my secret at the cost of someone's life. And yet in the end, I always protect myself. Instead of taking responsibility, I run away. I'm too scared to even look at your face. My mom, she was sent flying too. Only it wasn't an accident. She said she felt guilty for giving birth to me. She was sobbing uncontrollably. And the next day, she died. She's dead because of you!
Just shut up! No! This isn't my fault!
It's my fault. Everything's my fault. Their lives. I stole them. It's true. Honestly, I almost cried. Hearing her say that,
Sounds lonely.
I felt forgiven. Forgiven for existing by a total stranger.
Today I met someone weird.
Weird.
Different, you know? It's not like we're friends. We just talked. She said to come back sometime.
Well, in that case, you better go back sometime.
The Somas looked at me with contempt. I was so used to being rejected. She was like a ray of light. Even so, I only actually went to see her that one time. I watched her, and I didn't like how lonely she looked. I wanted both of them to be happy. And I found myself thinking, are they lonely today? Are they smiling today? And the worry wouldn't go away. So that day, for the first time, I made the conscious decision to visit. Not that it ended well. That ending was much worse. She said she wouldn't forgive me. She noticed me standing nearby and said, I won't forgive you.
I wonder
And then
if she was saying that, like,
just
I won't
stood
forgive
there
you
frozen.
if you. I wonder if she recognized him?
I could. And I ran.
Kyo, what happened?
After that, Master took me away. I'd fallen into the dark. And I stayed there, trapped. But I was so lost. I couldn't forgive myself for what I'd done. And the only way to keep going was to tell myself, it's not my fault. Yuki's fault. He's the reason things turned out like this. That rat stole all my hope. It couldn't be mine. I created a bad guy in my mind. and made him take responsibility for everything. I just needed him to be the bad guy.
Is he listening? Oh.
As long as I could make anything inconvenient his
Oh.
fault. I focused on that, my hate, and used it to erase my memory of the day your mom died. The other day, I saw that hat in your room, and it came flying back. The guilt had shifted onto somebody else. Figures. My whole life, saving my own skin's been the one thing I was ever any good at. My dad had told Akito I dropped off the map, so I was summoned to the main estate when I showed back up. We argued, and then we made a bet.
Before you graduate from high school, prove you can defeat Yuki.
So, I went straight to find Yuki. Of course, I never imagined I'd run into you too. No. What is she doing here? Knowing that, can you forgive me? I was so angry and scared. I didn't mean to get so close to her. I didn't mean to fall in love. How? I can't forgive me. Your mom was right to say that. And I don't want you to forgive me either.
I won't. Is that what you want to hear? What I have to say? Are those choices the only ones I have left? Can't believe she'd really tell you that. It doesn't sound like her.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Not at all.
I feel like she meant something else, or she didn't get a chance to say the rest.
I know my choice. The only one I can make is to go against Mom. Isn't there any way I can get you to see the truth? To accept the fact that I love you?
I'm disappointed in you.
No! Come back!
Miss Honda? Miss Honda, you should go in. I'll be back.
Idiot.
Pathetic. I confessed my own sins. Said everything I wanted to say. Then I ran. Even though I know that sometimes in this world you don't get the chance to see someone again. To say you're sorry. I know that. But if I'm just going to read history, then how's that any different than knowing nothing at all?
Don't you end? Damn it! Alright. That was episode 8. And it was basically just a conversation between Kyo and Toru. Kyo asks Toru if she loves him. She doesn't say anything, but he takes that as a yes. And he doesn't want that because he feels guilty for letting Kyoko die. So my theory that I had was not correct. He was not directly or indirectly responsible for her death, which is what I originally had thought. He just, and I get it, it makes sense that why he didn't want to pull her in, because if he did, then he would have transformed and then everybody would have found out, and then chaos would have happened because it was in a public place. But so I understand his dilemma. Like, what do you do in that situation? And he said that he prioritized his life over hers, his secret over her life. And that sucks. It sucks to have to be put in a situation like that, because nobody in the world knows about the Zodiac and that they exist and stuff like that. And for that to be thrust upon a child who had no choice, it's hard. I can't imagine being in a situation like that. And I don't know what the right situation is either. Because if he'd have pulled her in and transformed, would that have saved her? Would that have been enough to save her? Would he have run out in front of the car as a cat and died? I don't know. It's one of those coulda, woulda, shoulda moments, right? It's one of those what if moments. What if this happened? What if I did this? Would it have changed the outcome? Or would it have remained the same? Or would he have died instead and then she would have felt guilty? And I don't know. I don't know that there is a right situation in this or a right answer. There hasn't been a whole lot of talk of like religion and faith and stuff like that. But I mean, maybe it was destined for her to die then. I mean, I don't know. I don't. They've never really talked about it, so I'm not sure. And it's Japanese. I'm not saying that Japanese don't believe in faith, but I'm not sure what the Japanese culture heavily, like Americans supposedly, 80% of Americans consider themselves Christians. I don't know what it is in Japan, or even if that would even come into play here. But for me, I sit there and I say, well, that was just the moment that she was supposed to die. I don't know. That would be really hard though for a child in this kind of world to understand, because there was a reason why he didn't save her, pull her in. And it's not a reason that any of us can understand, because that's not a power that we have in this world that I know of. I don't know. I feel like I'm putting my foot in my mouth a little bit. I don't know. You can't really compare this world that they're in to our world just because we don't have a Soma family in our world. So it would be tough to bring in like religion and stuff like that. But so he told Toru that, you know, the whole story about what happened, and apparently he thought he heard Kyoko say, I won't forgive you. And Toru was like, that doesn't sound like my mom. Which I agree, it doesn't sound like Kyoko at all. I wanna say, and it's one of those things that we may just never know because she died, but I wanna say that she died mid-sentence. I won't forgive you if you leave Toru alone. Maybe that was the end of the sentence that she never got to say. That's the only thing that I can think of that sounds like something Kyoko would say, that she did recognize Kyo in that moment. And maybe she had some kind of a flashback. You know, like, I mean, I've never been like near death or anything, but a lot of people will say if you have a near death experience that your life flashes kind of before your eyes and stuff like that. And so maybe in that moment when she's, you know, laying on the ground, that she has a flash of the time that they spent together, and she recognized him because of the orange hair. It's not natural, right? And so it's like, okay, well, there's this kid that looks, you know, very much like this little boy that I used to talk to, and he made me a man's promise one day that he would save her, and this is him. This is that boy. I won't forgive you for leaving her alone or not keeping your promise or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know what the end of that sentence was or what she really meant. Because like I said, the only person that would know is her, and she's no longer here. Unless he's just not remembering the rest of what she said and it's still repressed in his memory somewhere. We got to get it out. I don't know. And then there was that then the flashback to when he did make that man's promise about he went to go see her after all this time, because he couldn't stop thinking about them and worrying about them. Are they okay? Are they lonely? And so he went to go check in on them, and that's the night that Toru went missing, and he, you know, was gonna make he made that man's promise to Kyoko. I'm gonna find her, I'm gonna save her, I'm gonna bring her back to you. And he looked like he ran all night into the day, into the next morning, and he couldn't find her. And turns out that, you know, Yuki was having his own issues and he ran away, and that's when he found her and brought her back home, gave her the hat that used to be Kiyo's. It's just like a big circle, a big chain of crazy. But, and he, you know, hates the rat, and he doesn't want anything to do with Yuki, and he hates Yuki, and yeah. I mean, we all know, right? Like, was like a snowball of hate in his life for Yuki, and yeah, I don't know. Like, anytime that I feel like I can't feel worse for these somas, they make you feel worse. They make you feel sorry for them. So Yuki, we did see that Yuki woke up during this conversation of Kiyo and Toru, and he, you know, he heard about, I'm assuming he heard about Kiyo saying that he was the one that was responsible for Kyoko's death. And yeah, and then he, you know, he heard Toru say, what am I supposed to say? That I don't forgive, I won't forgive you? And then she was like, well, if that's what my mom said, then I'm just gonna have to go against what she said. And Kiyo ran off, and Yuki went after him, and he told Toru to go inside, and of course she was kind of stunned and didn't know what to do, and so Yuki kind of left and went they went opposite ways. We saw Kiyo go one way and Yuki go the other, But I'm hoping that he's gonna flip back around because Akito is standing behind Toru with a knife. And I'm assuming that she's gonna try and kill her because she thinks she's the one that's responsible for these bonds that are breaking. So I hope, I don't know where Shigure is. I mean, this is this all the same night that Shigure was at the estate? Is he gone? And the only one left at home right now is Toru, and Kyo's off wherever in the woods that he's gonna go. And where's Yuki going? So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Toru is really not in a position right now, in a good state of mind, to fight off a crazy godlike creature with a knife. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's only episode 8. I don't know how many episodes are in this season, but I'm assuming that it's gonna be roughly the same amount as before. We still didn't know what happened to Kurano. Is he alive? Is he dead? Did they get Hattori? I don't understand what's happening. I mean, I get it, I understand, but like, who's gonna save Toru now? Is this gonna be an opportunity for Kyo to make good on that promise that he made to Kyoko? Are we gonna get a happy ending for anybody? Is Kurano dead? I need to know. Are they all just gonna have to die for this curse to die? And nobody gets a happy ending? I don't know if I could ever accept that as an ending. I don't know. I don't think that's how it's gonna end. That outro is way too damn cheerful for them all to just die. I don't know. That'd be one hell of a twist, is if they all died. I don't know. Yeah. I'm bummed that I have to wait a week for the next one, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have for this episode. If you liked this video, then please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you subscribe so that when I throw up a video, you can hear about it first. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. Bye.